Welcome to Improving Your Lifestyle with Dr. Olia, where every lady is royalty and deserves to reign. Let's talk about it. It's time for the Dr. Olia Show.
Hello, everybody, all around the world. We welcome you, our audience, and all of you wonderful people around the world. We are so excited about our third episode that is coming up today. We've been talking about women and young girls' feminine health care. And tonight we're going to be talking from a medical perspective. And I want to invite a wonderful person that is our global news reporter. Please welcome everybody, Kaya Huff. Hello, Kaya. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you. Oh, so awesome to have you tonight. Sit down there. Kaya, you are our global news reporter. You are reporting from all around the world. You've been reporting on doing our first show, and now we're in our third episode. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. We're going to talk about some serious things tonight, coming from a medical perspective. We've been talking about women feminine hygiene care, where women and young girls have been suffering from the menstrual cycles, fibroids, and different types of diseases. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to move straight ahead into our show,
Okay.
talking about women menopause, men andropause.
Yep.
Yeah, and we want to bring up right now interview that I had with Moni Amandala, where she talked about women 40 plus.
And
Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have with me today a very special guest. And she's a serial entrepreneur, a speaker, author, wellness educator. She's a product developer and spiritual counselor, and is affectionately known as the modern medicine woman. Please welcome Moni Amandala to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I want to just say I'm so honored and so proud of you. You are radiant. You are spreading God's word and his message, and you're just stunning. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So we're going to move forward. Our topic for today is women, feminine health, and wellness. Going to be talking with you today about women 40 plus and also about menopause. You are affectionately known as the modern medicine woman. Tell us a little bit about that. That is interesting.
Yes, that was a name that I actually got from Steve Harvey's team. It was interesting because they had flown me out to Los Angeles to Universal Studios. Interested in what I do, my product formulation, and just learning more about me. And so I got a call on a Tuesday, ended up in Hollywood by Saturday. And just the rest is history. And so, like, talking to his team, and they're like, "You're like this modern medicine woman, like
medicine woman." So would you consider yourself herbist or nutritionist or all mixed together?
All mixed together.
All mixed together.
I do a little bit of all of those things. And so when people come to me who aren't, wanting to take like the traditional pharmaceutical path, or if doctors have a patient who is not responding to your traditional allopathic care with traditional medicine, then they'll call me, and then I'll go in and create the botanical equivalent. But I always do so, through prayer and through making sure that I'm getting those downloads about what that person needs. And I've just been so blessed to now have been able to help people literally all over the world, from Singapore to Japan to Costa Rica, Ecuador, Canada, France, UK, and of course all over the United States. And so when people hear about me, they kind of stick with me, and it's been a good thing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You are, my son, considered a celebrity spiritual wellness coach, and some of your A-list and people that you serve with are very renowned individuals. You just shared a few. Is there more? I know there are.
There's definitely more, but I'm unable to share their names due to confidentiality. But you'll know their music, you've seen them in movies. And what's interesting is they all have referred me to one another. So it's not that I went out and went and did all this big marketing thing, but it's when you do good work, when you do right by people, and when you are effective. And this word just spreads, and that's how it happened. And so I've just been really blessed to help so many of them.
Wow, that is awesome. I also, as I was reading your portfolio, you are a sought after author and wellness coach, educator, and you've been with some other keynote speakers. I saw them. I think it was Anthony Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
You shared the platform with some of those individuals as well.
Yes, I did in Atlanta. Young and Stormy Wellington, so many were there, and it was so cool walking into the convention center in Atlanta, and I look up at the billboard and I'm like, wait, that's me, like on the big jumbo. I'm like, whoa. So it's such a surreal thing, because it's like there's a difference between what you make happen and what God makes happen. So it's been amazing. I'm also have a company called Comedica, which is a science and research and development company. That's going to be our big thing for women that are 40 plus, and for men who are 40 plus, because men are suffering too. And but nobody tells them that just because women are going through menopause, men are going through andropause, which is a very
andropause.
Yes,
wow.
ma'am. Yes,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
They just think that their husbands are cranky and irritable and all the things. No, he's got low testosterone. He's in andropause. And so the goal for Comedica is to be able to bridge the gap, help men and women be able to see each other properly, so that we can, we want to help restore relationships, restore marriages, because they think that they're bickering at each other. And it's really because their brains have been hijacked by their hormones.
Until next time, let's keep talking about it and dispel myths and misconceptions. Remember, every question has an answer. Every question and every problem have a solution. But you must seek God first, and ye shall find. Until next time. Welcome back. That was an awesome interview with Mani Amandala.
Yes.
Kaya, she talked about being a serial entrepreneur. She has a company. In fact, she has several companies. One is called, I think, Bellativa. Bellativa and Comedica. And Comedica is where she produced health and wellness products. And in the interview, you may have heard her talking about being a celebrity, going out to Hollywood and working with Steve Harvey and his wife, Marjorie.
Yeah.
She also talked about having a lot of celebrity clients as well.
And her name was the Modern Medicine Woman, and I think she got that from Steve Harvey's team. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow, wow. She said they flew her out to Hollywood, and because of all of the products that she was producing for health and wellness. I also found out that she has a lot of products and help people all around the world. Do you remember some of the places that that her products is, like Singapore?
Singapore, I think she said Canada, Japan. It was a lot of places that
There's
she
a lot
listed.
of places, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's called the Modern Medicine Woman. She's a scientist also, And as I looked at her portfolio, they called her a celebrity spiritual health and wellness coach.
Oh, wow.
She's an awesome lady.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
She has a lot of different titles, doesn't she?
Yes, she really does. She's a beautiful lady too. But she talked about one of her passions is to help people. And God gives her downloads so she'll know how to give the right medication but you know what I wanted to mention? Because we talked about the traditional medicine versus naturopathic.
Yeah, that's a big thing going on right now, I would say.
Yeah. And I asked her a question, what does she think about the traditional medicine as opposed to the traditional? She said she believes we need both because she has had an operation doing, I think she said she had fibroids or something like that. Yeah. So she believed
That's
in both.
interesting. That's interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Because you hear a lot of people, they would rather go the traditional way, and then I've met a lot of people that will like the naturopathic way. So it's interesting that she said that you think you need both.
And that you use both. And what would you say? Would you go more both when it's necessary or naturopathic? Which one?
Well, from what I've been learning, I've been doing, a little bit of research here and there, and I've been leaning more towards the naturopathic method of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just listening to her, she seems like she's very well educated. You said she was a scientist. So
She's a scientist.
I know. I would love to do a lot more research and listen to her videos. And just listen to what she has to say, because I'm pretty sure it's very, very interesting information that she has.
And we can go over to our YouTube channel and find out more, get the full interview, because it is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on money or mandala. So coming up next, Gaia, is you're Dr. Olia's global news reporter. And you do investigative reporting and check people out all over the world.
Yes, ma'am.
And so coming up, and right now, next, we're going to just dive into Dr. Olia's global news. Reporting is none other than Gaia.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Olia. Ladies and gentlemen from all around the world, our news for today is focused on menstrual hygiene care from the medical perspective. Let's talk about it. On today's show, we're going to start off with a testimonial. Our testimony from today will be coming from Shantae Holland. She interviewed on Dr. Olia's first show, and she explained about her experience using sanitary napkins called Rain. Holland raved how helpful the napkins were and how they also regulated her monthly period. In the past, she also dealt with fibroid tumors. Rain pads are infused with Nobel Prize-winning material, graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, and lastly, help boost the immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy.
Everyone, I am Dr. Olia. I'm so excited today because we have a fantastic young lady that's joining me on the Dr. Olia show. Her name is Phyllis Frimpong, better known as the Fibroid Queen. She's a nurse, holistic coach, and with lifestyle programs. We're going to be talking about women, holistic health and wellness, and their everyday lifestyle. Joining me right now on the doc.
Thank you, Dr. Olia. I'm so grateful to be here, and thank you for opening up this space for me.
We want you to tell us a little bit about Phyllis Frimpong. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, you're native from where.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Ghanaian. My parents are from Ghana. I was raised in Chi-Town, Chicago, and I currently now live in Atlanta. And I'm the oldest of two. And really growing up, I was always into trying new things, very curious, and science was my jam. It just allowed me to think outside the physical, be very creative. And
Mhm.
looking back, I feel like um, I was a very just open, curious being where I just didn't realize how I was until now. And I can't wait for us to jump into more of my story to see how this
Yeah.
all comes together. But life
You're
is amazing. Yeah,
evolving every
evolving,
day.
right?
And you're a
Exactly.
greatness. You're a greatness. Tell us a little bit about you are a certified nurse,
Yes.
and we're going to be moving into feminine health care. We're going to kind of dig deep into that, but
Mhm.
I want to find out a little bit about your background in reference to how did you become a nurse? Was that your purpose that you
Yeah.
think God gave you?
Yeah. So me coming into nursing really started when I was a child.
Yeah.
I witnessed my mom go through some pain and suffering with uterine fibroids. So very early
Mhm.
on, I learned what happens when your womb ails you. And I
Yeah.
was about 7 years old. So I was just this curious child, like I said, and wanting to, just help. That was my
Mhm.
thing. Being the oldest, I was always ready to help, babysit my younger brother and sister. But when it came to my mom, I felt like I wasn't able to help her because a lot of what she was going through, she didn't understand. Dealing with heavy
Mhm.
periods and dealing with low energy and typical African mom. I would ask her, Mom, what's wrong? She's like, leave me alone. It just always brushing me off in
Yeah.
regards to,
So,
what she
so
was
Phyllis,
dealing with.
how old? I'm jumping in here a little bit. How
Yeah.
old were you during this time when your mom was going through uh, menstrual cycle, heavy
Mhm.
bleeding, etc., and then fibroids? How old were you?
Yeah, I was 7 years old. So I was
7
seven
years
years
old.
old. Yeah. So
Okay.
me not being able to help her and not realizing what was going on with her,
Mhm. Mhm.
that created the drive for me wanting to become a nurse later in life. And
Uh-huh.
my mom was very private about what was going on with her. I remember her coming from the doctor's appointments, having this confused look on her face. And, I just always tried to conversate with her, and it was hit or miss sometimes with
Yeah.
depending on how she
And
was feeling.
so you
Yeah.
think that sort of inspired you, or do you think that that's one of the things that God had given you to do, your purpose to be a nurse to help people? This sounds
Yeah.
like, as I studied you a little bit and researching, that
Yeah.
you're a helper. You like to make a difference in people's lives. We're going to be inviting folks to go to your link, go to your
Mhm.
videos. It's just numerous videos on social media that if anybody wants to be healthy and strong and fit and well-rounded with wholeness of life, I think you are the person that we should recommend.
Wow.
The
Thank you.
fibroid queen. More than about fibroids, it's about wholeness of life.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank
Phyllis. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us today on the Dr. Olia Show. And we know that you will continue to help a lot of women and young girls, but not only women. I know this is also will help men as well, what you are doing. So thank you again for joining us. Welcome back, everybody. Again, I'm Dr. Olia, along with our reporter for Dr. Lear's Global News, and this is Kaya Huff. Kaya, we had an opportunity to listen to Phyllis, and Phyllis is a registered nurse. Originally, parents was from Ghana, they call her, what do they call her? You had an opportunity to look at some of the footage.
They call her the fibroid queen,
The
correct?
fibroid queen.
The fibroid queen.
You know what? I asked her, so what does that mean? And she was talking about, and we want to go just a little bit because the interview shared some of the information, but we also encouraging everybody, go to our YouTube channel. You're going to get the full interview and give you more details.
Yeah.
Phyllis said that she grew up, she was about 8 years old, and her mother used to have heavy flows, heavy bleeding, and suffered a lot and was very private about it, right? But as a little girl, 8 years old, she didn't understand, you know, why her mom was irritable and suffering so much. And during this era and season in their life, they didn't understand as much about fibroids. But her mother had fibroids. A lot of women have fibroids. It's almost like an epidemic. I hear a lot of women talk about that.
Yeah.
So Phyllis grew up, and she said her father encouraged her to go to school to be a registered nurse. She said, "Oh, that would give you a good job when you grow up."
Yeah, and to help women all around.
All around the world, yeah. And she talked about, as a little girl, and remembered her mother suffering so much, so she was always afraid that this could happen to her. You know, 8 years old and not understanding. And as she got older and was in college, going to school to be a nurse, she found that she had
fibroids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her mother ended up having a surgery, a traditional surgery, and had the fibroids removed, but they grew back, to my understanding. So Phyllis decided that she didn't want to go that route, and so she decided to go a naturopathic way.
Right.
And so she researched that, and she didn't have an operation. You remember reading and hear about that?
Yeah.
She didn't have an operation. She went natural.
And her diet, right?
Yeah, her
She
diet.
was big on nutrition. I think that's something that's amazing.
And herbs, she used nutrition, she used herbal medicine, and one of the big things she talked about is exercising is very, very important. And she said stress level, that's a big thing that causes women to have all sorts of disease and causes the fibroids, if you have them, to grow.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't
She
know
said
that.
stress is a big thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So she does holistic medicine.
Okay.
And with the interview, you may not have seen as much, but if you head over to our YouTube channel, you'll get the full interview where she talked about fibroids and how she's been able to help so many women,
Right.
you know, in the natural way. So she has a holistic program that she uses. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to head over there
You
to the
gotta check
YouTube
it
channel
out.
and check it out. I know I've seen some of the interview, but
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to get into all of her
Yeah.
practices. And,
Yeah. So we're about to wrap it up. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's been awesome having you on
has.
set with me.
It's been a
been
great
awesome.
time.
This is our reporter for Dr. Olia's Global News. But you know what? We want to kind of run it down again. Naturopathic medicine, traditional medicine, being a herbalist, finding a good herbalist to help you, and also your nutrition, and make sure you exercise.
And exercise.
Yeah, so we're going to close out. We have a young lady out of Sunny Isles, Miami, Florida. She's 72 years old. She is a personal trainer.
Wow.
And she has a little granddaughter that's 3 years old, and they're working out. You're going to see them at the end of the show. Her name is Zelma of Zelma Fitness from Sunny Isles, Miami, Florida. And she said, no more excuses. Keep it moving. You can walk, you can jog, but whatever you do, remember to stay fit and healthy. Eat, exercise according to your body type. Get rid of that stress. And so we're so excited. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank
We
you for
thank
having
all
me.
of you in the audience for joining us and all around the world for joining us on the Dr. Olia Show. Remember this, for every question, there's an answer. To every problem, there is a solution. Remember, let's keep talking about it. If you seek, you shall find. Dr. Olia.
Thank you.
Good job. Yes. March it. And press it up and down. Come on. Up, down, up and down the top. Up and down. Up, march it out and march. Yes. Good job, Marty. Good job. All right. Up and up. Up. Working on 5 steps. We're doing, come on, 5 steps. Come on. And up. And up. March it out. Come on. Good job, Molly. Come on. We can do it. We can do it, Boo-Boo. I got to say, Boo-Boo. Yes. Good job. Good job, Molly. You're doing good. There you go. Good. March. Good job. Good job, Boo-Boo. Boom, boom, boom.